morning. I want to talk a little bit more about the Mollie Tibbetts story. This story is not fake news. I know a lot of people go around saying that this is fake news, that's fake news. The way you can tell if something's fake news, if you don't see it in your immediate environment, if you don't walk outside your door and you don't see stories from the local news saying that this happened in the environment, then it may be fake news. But the Mollie Tibbetts story is not fake. And here's why I'm going to tell you why it's not fake. Because here, I've lived in Virginia all my life. And I've always noticed that little children get abducted here and they're never, some of them are recovered, some of them not. Ever since I was little, like children coming up missing. And a lot of them have been recovered and a lot of them have not. And if it wasn't for the Amber Alert, I don't think that half of those children would have been recovered. So I was going to the library and I saw two young ladies that were missing. One was black and one was white. The Caucasian girl, they found her. The African American girl, she was found dead. Her cousin had killed her. I didn't follow the story anymore. I just followed the story, basically see if they found her, and they found her dead. Her cousin had a prior record to threatening family members, and he killed her. So they locked him up. The Caucasian girl, they found her a couple of weeks. She was safe somewhere. Virginia has a sex trafficking problem as well, dealing with children. And they have not solved the problem. Like, Virginia has an overwhelming homeless problem. Since the state has been democratic for the last 8-9 years, the state has been ran down. Like, it's out of control. Crime is ridden with crime. And if you see that a state has become overridden with crime, that's because the government has allowed too many people to come here. And they don't know who's doing what. Because they have a whole mess of people who have different addresses, different this, different that. And there's a lot of foreigners here. And they've had a lot of car crashes, a lot of where, I've seen on the highway, it was one guy who he hit somebody, and he happened to be Mexican. He hit somebody, he didn't have a license. So, things like this happen. So this is not fake news. There are immigrants that are really doing this stuff. And the best way to find that out is look in your environment. Be socially conscious. I was born in 1980. It was popular at that time to be socially conscious. My parents made sure that I was, well, my dad did, because my dad came from Baltimore. And up there, Baltimore is socially conscious. So it is a popular thing back then to be like that. I will tell you, before I moved 2 years ago into the location I'm in now, one day I was at home and my children were outside, and all the children in the neighborhood would come play with my kids, because I teach my kids to be open to everybody. Like, be friends with everybody, because you never know what you can find out about people. It's like, I like variety. So I teach my kid to play with everybody. Play with everybody. So everybody would come down to the house and the kids would be outside. So my kids come running up with the other kids, and the news people around the corner, they're interviewing my son's friend. And my son's friend I don't know how he got outside after 7 p.m. because I don't allow my kids to be outside after that. He was outside and a van was trying to get him to come over to the van and pick him up, and he almost got abducted. If he wouldn't have started shouting, he would have been gone. So the Mollie Tibbetts story is not fake news. I'm seeing this for the last couple of years. I've been seeing things in my environment and in my neighborhoods that are not supposed to be going on. And the police can't be everywhere. Okay? Because there's issues in the police force as it is. So this is not fake news, people. Wake up, look in your area, and see if you see the same things going on. Pay attention. And I want to talk about stereotypes. Everybody thinks stereotypes are false. Sometimes stereotypes are true. I learned in criminal justice, sometimes stereotypes are true because stereotypes are made off of culture, what people do. So be very vigilant with your children today, because the borders have been open for the last couple of years, and people are here that are doing things to children. And in those countries or wherever they come from, it might be legal to do that stuff. So this is not fake news, people. I want y'all to pay attention to this story as much as you can, and pay attention to your environment and the kids that are in it. And if you see posters of missing young girls, open your eyes.